This is Mohammad Azruddin, and this is our second video of the concept of demonetization. If you have listened my first video, in that video I have explained you about the concept of money and what is the currency and what is the difference between money and currency. And also I have explained about how the value of the currency, how the currency was created and how it was removed from gold standard, and now we are having completely fiat currency which doesn't have any backup of gold or silver or any other precious metal. It is just a fiat currency. So now what is the relationship of dollar with Indian rupee? So we are right now, I'm giving explanation about the demonetization in India. Then what is the relation? Why I have explained about in the first video about the dollar concept. So I would like to explain you that why I have explained first about the dollar is, you see, dollar is the world reserve currency. By using different tactics by central banks and with the help of IMF, with the help of World Bank, with the help of BIS, all of these organizations combinedly, with the cooperation of all the countries together, dollar was taken as a world currency, which means that every other currency is now traded on behalf of dollar, and dollar do not have any backup of whatsoever. So which simply means that we can say that the Indian rupee is also a pure fiat currency without any backup of gold or silver, which is not having any standard. And also it's totally based on the trust, that is the citizens, we trust that note. That is the reason it is getting the value. So the government can put any value on it, and if we trust that particular note and we believe that that is the value of it, that's it. That's based on based on trust. Now you see, as of now the market rate of each dollar is 68.13 Indian rupees, and it is actually inclining from many years. The value of Indian rupees, the dollar value is $1 equal to, it was initially long back it was 40, then 50, now it is 68. It can climb. Now the problem is, what's the issue? Now I want to explain you about the a wider picture, not just about the picture of Indian rupee being demonetized. Please remember this point. According to various economists, according to various analysts, and also some of the experts in the field of economics and the field of who understand money and who are investors, okay, these people have already given warning signals that the dollar is going to collapse because of its the system, how they created the system in US. So you see, when this dollar will get collapsed, it's going to create a global problem. It's even we are going to suffer. Everyone in the world is going to suffer when the dollar will collapse. Maybe some people say I'm a fear-mongering person. See, I would ask you to please do research. If you don't do research, it doesn't make any sense for you to just give a comment. So I'm not trying to create fear. I'm just trying to give you a solution that before it happens, how do you protect yourself? What are the solutions you have? So in this video, I'm going to explain you about what you have to do, as well as we will discuss about the concept of demonetization. So the point here is that why we have discussed about dollar, because it has a connection with Indian rupee. Now let us see what is the problem with the fiat currency. Now a lot of times you may ask a question, sir, what's the problem if you are using paper note, if you don't have any backup, what's the problem? The biggest problem with fiat currency is the government can print more money, okay, or RBI or whatever the organization, they can print more money depending on the trade, depending on different aspects. So when the government print more money and the more money comes into circulation, what happens to the money is it's going to lose its purchasing power. Now what do you mean by that? In simple terms, I would like to explain you. In the year 2005, if you have 100 rupees, you are able to buy 20 apples or even more than that, because at that time apples were at that particular price. I'm talking about the same quality. In 2016, the same quality apple, same standard of apple, everything is same, but with the same 100 rupees you can only buy 10 apples. What happened? You say, some people say महंगाई बढ़ रही है, the things are becoming costly. So the answer actually it is reverse. Your money is becoming less and less worthful, and it is losing its purchasing power. Now come back to the real money, come back to the real money here. If you see, in 2005, 10 grams of gold used to be 7,000 rupees according to the official standard. Now today it is 30,000. Now the point is, what happened? Did gold lose its value? Did silver lose its value? No, not at all, because that is the real money. And I would ask you, please do research and find out what are the biggest billionaire investors are doing. most of the billionaire investors are now moving their portfolio from the different stuff. Now they are buying gold. And if you just do research, I would say, don't follow me because I'm not a very big expert and you may not believe me, but I would say that don't believe me, no problem, but go and do research and see what the biggest investors are doing. They are buying gold, they are buying silver, they are moving their assets into other things. Why? Because they know, they have the knowledge, they have the understanding that because eventually at the end of the day, the dollar is going to collapse. And believe me, when it collapses, Indian rupee will also collapse and we will have a very big issue and very big problem. So I would suggest you that if you want to protect yourself and your family, so I would say that whenever you are having the money, whenever you get the currency, whatever the currency it is, so I would suggest you to save your currency, to save your money in the form of dollars. So I'm not talking about tax evasion here. Please remember, whatever the taxes are there, you are paying the taxes. You are like, see, for me, I'm getting the TDS and I'm paying the taxes. So the idea here is very simple, that if you are having the remaining amount, don't put it in a bank. Rather than putting it in a bank, just try to save it in the form of real money, which will help you in the time of trouble. Some people will say this is a very rubbish advice. So I would say, please do your research. You will understand whether this advice is sound or it is not sound. Let's coming back to the next point. Let's see what is exactly the rupee. Like we are seeing the Indian rupee 500 note, 1000 note. Have you any time seen it? And if you see there are two things available on the note. One says that I promise to pay the bearer the sum of 500 rupees. Now, what does it mean? Already I'm having this 500 rupees note. So what is this promise exactly with the signature? So it says that it's only that's just a promise. That's what it is called as IOU, which means what? In simple terms, it's a promise, nothing. And who is guaranteeing this 500 rupees is central government, which simply means that when government guarantee anything here, it simply means a legal tender. That is, we can now use it as a medium of exchange. But if you ask me a question, now can it be demonetized? Can any other currency can be demonetized? So now simply remember, as it is a government tender, given as is a legal tender, as mentioned by government, whenever they want, they can remove this from legal tender. Now, when they remove this as a legal tender, simply it becomes a piece of paper. And if you please study the history of Zimbabwe and please go and check what happened to their currency, what happened, how the inflation, hyperinflation have completely spoiled their economy. And believe me, the government printed $100 trillion note as well. They have a $100 billion note as well. But for $100 billion, they used to get 3x. That is what the problem of inflation. So I would say that we don't need to really panic about the situation. The only thing you can do is you understand the reality that currency is currency and real money is real money. So you have to understand that this is actually a point that we can now understand and we can get some knowledge and we can try to make some changes in our life so that we can safeguard our future. We don't need to be so much dependent on all this stuff that our entire life is going to be disturbed because of a small statement or because of a decision made by the government. So we have to be smart and we have to do certain things so that we are not 100% going to get affected with all of these problems. And one more thing we have is, let's say the reason given by the government is that because fake money, fake currencies in circulation. You see, I have read a report where according to a report, only 0.028% of the entire money is actually, which is in circulation, is fake. So my question is very simple. When there is 0.28 or you take 0.5% of the currency is in circulation which is fake, then it is being demonetized, and remaining who are holding this money, they are actually in trouble. And also, what if the criminals or terrorists or any people, if these people start doing the fake notes now, what will government next do? Will they demonetize these notes as well? So see, we don't know. See, this is a government note, so there is a legal tender, and in future they will say that this is also we are demonetizing. Then what should we do? Again, we should start in the lines, in the bank lines. And one more thing, we have few questions which you have to understand. See, some people are just saying that this is very, very good for economy, and I suggest them please study something about the monetary system. Then you can comment on this point. Some people are saying we are great, we are moving towards the cashless. There is cashless economy. We are going to digital economy. So don't think about that everything which is digital is going to great for you. you will understand, if you study the monetary system, you will understand why this digitalization is actually being done globally. What is the true agenda behind this entire concept? So also one more thing. Now see, when I'm talking about demonetization, people will say I'm anti-national. I want to ask you a question. How is talking about some decision which is affecting me, I have to stand for 2 hours leaving my office? My question is, but if I am having a trouble and a lot of Indians are having a trouble and we are speaking about it, how can it be anti-national? And some celebrities, big celebrities, they are saying this is a great move, but the shameless celebrities actually are listed in Panama Papers. They are listed in different scandals and different problems. And these people who are now actually the big politicians, in the past, what they were fighting on behalf of some of the criminals. They were protecting the criminals. And if you see this, some of the lawyers who are right now on different posts in the government, they have been fought. You see their history when they were lawyers of different courts, they were fighting for defending different people who are in the scam. So what exactly you want to deny, what exactly you want to explain to us about with this? So the point is, it's simply, it's a game where rich people are actually already safe. They're already safe. They're not standing in the lines, but poor people like me and you are actually standing in the queue. So there is nothing. This is all, talking about this demonetization. You are an anti-national. So I would say you are a real fool, and you are just a person who is thinking about something with closed eyes. So I would say, please open your eyes and see what's the reality going on around you. And few questions we have. Now, if you understand these questions, you will understand that why they have did this demonetization. So first of all, when is government going to bring all this, black money, real black money, which is stored in Swiss banks, which is stored in tax havens? And if you read the Panama Papers and also various, exposes and leaks, you will understand that government already have a list of these people. Why they are not making it public? That's the first point. Next, number two, in 2014, when the Congress government wanted to do demonetize some notes, they say it is anti-poor, it is not good for poor. My question is, how it become poor, how it become helpful for the poor people? Now we have to stand on the in the bank lane, in the length, we have to stand on a very huge line on an ATM to get just 2,000 rupees. Now how it has become helpful for poor people? Poor people are dying, we are having problem, we are having crisis. So how it is, why you oppose in 2014 and why you are applying it in 2016? Number three, if you read some of the documents, you will see that there are a lot of defaulters, okay, who have taken thousands of crores from the PSU banks and they are not refunding. They are willful defaulters. Now the question is, why government is not retrieving the loans from the people, from the corporates who have taken the loans, so also from individuals? Why? What is the reason? Number four, one question I have, we are depositing our money in the banks. Now my question is, assume that if everyone in India are depositing, say for example, all their money into this banking system, and banking system use something called as fractional reserve banking, or also called as fractional reserve lending, which means if a person comes and he's deposits say 100 rupees in a bank, now the bank has a right to keep only 10 rupees from it, and they can actually distribute the remaining 90% to any other person. So my question is, now if all of India is depositing the money, the question is, will government guarantee that the banks will not give this amount, the money, as loans to the corporate people and to the friends and allies of the party who have been created this demonetization? Is there a guarantee that government is giving a guarantee to us that fractional reserve banking is not used and all our money is given in the form of loans? And one more important thing, why did the government has enforced the limits for withdrawing our own money? What's the reason? See, we are paying lots of taxes, service tax, sales tax, this tax, that tax, so many taxes we are already paying, and what money is left to us? Now that money we have to put in a bank. And the question I have is our money safe in the bank? What if the bank overnight says, we have given it to in the form of loans and they are not returning that? So if they say, they put up a limit like what happened in Greece and other countries where they charge the negative interest rate on the accounts, so how can government guarantee that our money is safe? That is one thing. And also one more important thing, when the reason of demonetization was to curb the black money, why did government launch the 2,000 rupees notes? Why? Because you said 500 and 1,000 rupees notes are very very easy to, for the black money holders to hoard the money. Then why did the government launch the 2000 rupees notes? So these are a few questions. And see, if you're a logical person and if you see the both parts of the coin, so I would say that there are few points which are positive in demonetization, few points not, and that are few points basically what, if you see one point I can tell you that with the help of this demonetization, maybe we can create some sort of a long term benefit. But I would say that comparative to the benefit, the problems, the issues are more than the benefits we are getting from it. So that's actually, it is not benefiting the people, a common man. It's basically now benefiting the government and the banks itself. But other people, common man, for his own money, he has to stand in line. So these are the few questions I have, which I have asked, and you do please your research and you will understand. Now, finally, what I want you to do is, don't listen my words, okay? I'm not an expert, fine, no problem. But I would ask you to study the international monetary system, how it created, when it created, what was the process, and also understand the difference between money and currency, and also go and study about dollar and why it will collapse. Believe me, I'm saying this point today on 21st November 2016. Now, I'm not saying this. There are so many experts, not in even India. There are so many experts globally who are the specialists, who are economists, chief economists. If you go and see their interviews, if you go and read their books, they will say that eventually dollar is going to collapse because of it's completely based on debt. It's completely based on debt. It's not based on free money. It's completely debt. And also I want you to study who controls the banking system and understand, you will get a lot of answers. So I would say, how do you protect yourself? So first thing I would say, invest smartly in gold and silver. And I would not say that go and invest in electronic traded funds. I would say no, not do that. Better is to buy a physical gold. And also, as I say, I'm not talking about holding money in black or something like that. What is my suggestion is, whatever you are paying in taxes, after that, whatever money you get, instead of saving that money in the bank so bank can give it on interest, rather than doing that, I would suggest you to save that money in the form of gold, in the form of silver, in the form of precious metal, which will not lose its value. And also diversify your investments. That is, if you don't put all your money in gold and silver, you diversify. So what you are able to earn, try to diversify into different segments, so that if one issue occurs, the other issue will not be available, will not be a problem. So this is what I want you to explain and convey with this video. So, and also one more important thing, I don't belong to any party. I'm not a person of Congress or BJP or any other party, and I don't participate in any political debates or any political stuff. I don't even want to go near that. So this is just a common man, it's just a common Indian person, okay, who is suffering because of this problem, and like me, a lot of people are suffering with this. So because of that, just to safeguard in the future, how do you protect yourself? For that reason, I have created this video. And also, I would suggest you to read this following books, which will really help you enhance your knowledge about the concept of money, about the concept of currency, and what is going to come in the future. So thank you very much for listening this video. Please, if you like my video, please share it. And also, please remember one point, I'm not going to respond to each and every comment and give explanation to you about why I said this and that. I would suggest you please do your research, okay? If you don't like my video, create a video on your channel, create a video on your Facebook and upload it, and give it as a replay to me, okay? But I would say that don't try to argue with me, don't try to debate with me on this issue. Please study the economics, study the basics. You will automatically understand whatever I have said. It has some meaning, it has some real meaning for the person who has intellect and who has a logic and who has a common sense. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please share this video to your friends so they can also understand how they can actually protect themselves in the time of crisis. Thank you very much.